Hello and welcome. It is the 19th day of January 2017, and welcome to the Silver Charts channel. My name is Derek, and let's start off within yesterday's comment on the Bitcoin video before we go over the analysis. Charles stating high-speed traders are getting involved. Can't believe something like this will be worth thousands of dollars. Has no value. LOL. Laugh out loud. So you're looking at an item that of Bitcoin backed by nothing, has no tangible value whatsoever, no tangible touch whatsoever. You can't actually put in your hands. And it's priced in something backed by nothing that is moving towards tangibly nothing as well, because when you get paid, it's deposited into your bank account. When you spend many of your purchases, at least most people, it's done via electronically through digital banking as credit card, debit cards, and so on and so forth. Find that interesting. And a reply from Half a Sheep. Many thought the internet would never amount to much. Now people find much value in the internet and thus pay to have access. At the very least, you don't go to decide what others value. Some may value a chocolate bar rather than a silver bar. That is life. And it's interesting you comment on that, because for about 24 hours now I've been trying to decide how I'm going to present one of my next videos, which is talking about Mark Dice and his experiment, which is offering people a chocolate bar or a silver bar, because it's pretty obvious that a lot of people are unfamiliar with it. Now, it's unfortunate that it seems that a lot of Mark Dice's videos seem to have people, actors, actresses, or in on it, which I unfortunately will have to go over, but go over just a few other concepts or something that I would like to do if I ever have the chance, as far as an experiment on if you'd want something of mega value or no value. Talk about that probably the next day or later on Thursday, today. The tulip concept, this was back in Hungary many moons ago, where people lost faith in the currency that was being devalued, and people were buying these tulips for protecting their wealth, and it crashed so badly on them. And then it was those who got in early and out that would have been fine. And I think a lot of it is going to be the case within the Bitcoin markets. And yeah, I'm predicting that overall that it's going to hit its historic gold to Bitcoin ratio, which there never was one before, which is where I think it's going to go. There isn't such a thing, or div zero, because gold and silver have been money for 5,000 years. Bitcoin hasn't even been around for a decade yet. So we'll see how it can still hold within its early times. But does it make sense that Bitcoin would be the world's reserve currency before gold ever will be? Yeah, it actually does. It'd probably be the next one that's world reserve currency, actually. And it probably is going to go much higher before it will ultimately fall. Now, don't quote me on that, but it's something, a question you might want to ask yourself. Well, how large of a gain would it be to go from, say, where we are now, 820, to say, let's just multiply it by 4, 1632, say 33, 34, 3300, or divide it by 4, 3500 or 2000, or 200, excuse me. The question is, what will happen first? You can easily make a trade for at least greater than 3500, or you will be unable to sell them for at least 200. If you think strongly that it's going to be towards this, then it's really a no-brainer to buy it at any of these lower prices and then play towards that number. And then, of course, if you think that that's not the case, then you either don't want to buy or wait to buy, as it'll be interesting how this thing keeps moving out. Now, as far as technical analysis, you still got the possibility of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. That would take a large decline for that to happen. If there is going to be any further moves, we can see here that we had support at the 18 average of closes. This big move did not find resistance at the Fibonacci point from this high and this low. Rather, it had a shot to go up to here quickly. Didn't do it. How about a pierce above? That would be resistance, thus going lower. Well, it has been holding. So no, it looks like that this is support rather than resistance at the key fib point. And on resistance, next level 945. After that, you'd have a 76.3 somewhere, and even psychological 1,000, then the 1,100 mark would be the key resistant levels. I think the deepest you'd want to correct down to would be this level here, which is where the 18 average of lows is, which coincides within this previous major resistance point. But within the sideways movement, the more it goes sideways, or even with a decent correction in price that would occur that brings it above it, would make it a very strong situation, because on those points, if you're playing on the break above, then it's not overextended short term, and it feels a lot more comfortable making a play to your target level, which in this case I would consider 945 or 949, 950. Then would it be like if it's, say, on this day it's going higher and oh geez, it's breaking resistance. What do you do? Because it's a scary situation to play the break of resistance game after it's overextended short term. Because yeah, I could just have a huge green candle up, but you're also asking for playing in what could be a toppy market as well. So that will be today's analyses. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a good one. Bye-bye.